Thank you, Hasina, for sharing with us the ecosystem of GTI. So, the fruit of every great harvest begins with a seed. GTI enjoys the great support of the Department of Basic Education, who planted the seed of public-private partnership, the seed of the public-private partnership model to training thousands of new teachers. To tell us about that, we next have Gerrit Coetzee, Director of Initial Education at the DBE. Thank you, Gerrit.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, especially to the students that is also signed on this morning. I am very honored and privileged to be speaking to you this morning, and I'm so glad for the way in which Hasina has introduced the session, because I think it's very apt and it's to the point and on target. And one thing about working with Global Teachers Institute, and especially working with the interns involved in the particular program, is that it always brings you down to earth and gets your head out of that policy and planning space that takes up so much of our time. So it's really an honor for me to be part of this process. I'm just going to share a few slides with you, and I hope I'm not going to bore you during this session. But I think it is important to note that if we're going to get things right in South Africa, and if we are going to get things right for the youth of South Africa, then it takes collaboration, it takes a system to work together in order to achieve this. And this is clearly indicated for us in the National Development Plan of South Africa. But we also have to remember constantly that in this working together, that we are working together in ensuring that our interns, that our youth, that our institutions is able to compete on a global stage, that we are able to live and work optimally within the 21st century, that we have access to that what is required for the fourth industrial revolution, and that at the heart of everything, that we make sure that we do this in the best that we can, with quality at the heart. The Global Teachers Initiative, and in particular the Future Leaders Program and the internship program that we're involved with focuses very much on that quality part, making sure that we have students that are able to participate in strengthening mathematics and literacy in particular. This slide just shows that we are on track in producing enough teachers, and your small part in this is contributing to us achieving that vision. You will note that UNISA plays quite a big role in producing initial teacher education graduates, and therefore this particular program that we are celebrating this morning is right on target, right on spot, because it partners with UNISA, one of the biggest providers of graduates in initial teacher education. Just to note that it was the Minister of Basic Education that started all of this, and that really challenged us to explore creative ways to recruit and to make teacher education more accessible to youth. And that is how we conceptualized the teacher internship model in 2012 already, where it integrates long-term placement of students in schools with with teacher training. And that's a particular niche that is starting to grow within South Africa. I'll speak a little bit more about that in a moment. And we've partnered with the Global Teacher Institute, the Department of Education in Mpumalanga, and other stakeholders as well, in order to achieve this. Now, in particular, the Future Leaders Program, we work closely with UNISA. We work and we use the Funza Lishaka bursary program to ensure that students receive a bursary. Now, we know that this is not perfect. We know that in the way that the system is moving, that it's often slower than what our students and what the interns would want. But we are trying to do our best with our partners to make sure that you get your bursary funding and that you are able to continue with your studies and chase that goal of quality, quality in your studies, quality in education, quality eventually when you stand in front of the classroom. So, like I said, we would like to see improvement in mathematics and reading. In particular, we're targeting the intermediate phase, and we're working. I think Mr. Lubisi has shared with me that this program has broadened into 2 districts in Mpumalanga, and that is just wonderful. And that it transforms individuals. It's not just a normal academic program, but the transformation of a person when they enter the program to the day that they graduate, equips them with reflection skills. It strengthens their social responsibility and strengthens the ability that they have to teach and employ methods within the classroom that leads to quality learning and for the learners. And then very important, it enables and assists us to strengthen the work integrated learning components, the teaching practice, especially for students participating in distance education. So these are when we conceptualize internship programs, these are the 3 areas that we would like to see being optimally realized, and the Global Teachers Institute program, Future Leader program, indeed is spot on and is able to do this. You know, if one look at the teacher intern that is at the beginning of a professional path, then it's very important to note that at the start of this internship program, they will be introduced to the South African Council of Educators, that they will have to register in that regard as a initial teacher education student, but then also looking at the personal issues and that wraparound program that GTI is able to give to the interns, and how to deal with stress, how to strengthen reflection, problem solving, and how to launch them basically in a process of lifelong learning. And then lastly, getting involved in the community, getting involved with the parents, and doing that as a student already is such a huge advantage that you have, and such a privilege, in fact, to be able to practice those skills at such an early stage. Then just to remind us that we don't do this on our own. We do this as part of a teacher internship collaboration process that has been launched in South Africa, which brings together government, different funders, higher education institutions, and other education practitioners to see how this particular approach of internship can become an alternative pathway for initial teacher education, which is effective, efficient, and widely utilized in public schools in South Africa. So through this partnership and the rollout of the Future Leaders Internship Program, We are heartened by the fact that it's gradually growing in Mpumalanga, and we need to broaden this, and we need to make it stronger, and we can do that through evidence-based monitoring and evaluation to ensure that we sustain programs like this and that we can see how we can broaden that. And with those words, I would like to congratulate the Global Teachers Initiative Institute and what you were able to do and accomplish thus far. We would like to thank you for the partnership that we have with you, and we hope that together with all the stakeholders, we will be able to strengthen this and take it forward, and in that way become a force to be reckoned with in our strengthening of the youth of South Africa. Thank you very much. Over back to you.